What up, Weeblets, light novel readers, and every phase in between. I'm Zack.
And I'm Shawn.
And welcome to Low Key Weebs. We're going to roll all our shit out today because I am in a good mood. Dandadan always puts me in a good mood.
A fucking fantastic mood.
But first, let's talk about my greatest accomplishment. The name for episode 10. I came up with it, and it's probably the best thing I've ever done in my life. And it is going to be titled, The 10 Things I Hate About Ooooh.
Fucking stupid, and I love it.
So, for episode 10, it's pretty much just going to be me and Shawn going on about shit that grinds our gears. We're just picking 5 things each, and we're just going to run with it. Nothing too crazy. It's going to be a little bitch fest. So, come along. Share your thoughts.
Yeah, and just to get ahead of it, we're not going to do this in, order of, what grinds our gears the most. It's just going to be off the cuff and
we're going to have some fun with it. So, where we left off last time, we were talking about Dandadan. Turbo Granny and a giant crab got blown up. Our Granny is just standing there being a badass.
As always.
Watching the flames go by.
Hard for her to not be a badass.
So, right after this all happens, you see a bunch of young schoolgirls kind of float away and disappear. Okaron and Momo, they go down to the train station. And I love the contrast of Granny because before she was standing there like a badass, and when they get to the train station, she's just real nonchalantly throwing up a peace sign.
Throwing up the victory sign.
Oh, that's what it is. And so she kind of explains Turbo Granny wasn't all that bad. Turbo Granny was always found places where young girls had been brutally murdered and couldn't move on, and that it was thought that Turbo Granny was kind of helping console these girls.
Yeah, but the path to hell is laid with good intentions.
and then she follows up by saying, you still can't attack people. There's still rules, lady. Just because you're some kind of saint doesn't mean that you can all of a sudden just start killing bitches.
Looking at you, Mother Teresa.
I was going to go with the guy who did the Kool-Aid before the whole Kool-Aid thing.
Oh, Jim Jones?
Jim Jones, before he started all that other bad shit. He actually did a lot of... He is the prime case of you can live to see... die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Oh, my God, yeah. But seriously, for those of you listening, go ahead and dig into Mother Teresa. It gets real horrifying real quick.
Yeah, it really does. I did a quick... Maybe we can even do an episode on it someday, but... For now, let's move on. We're gonna talk about our Mother Teresa, Turbo Granny.
Hell yeah!
So after the whole fight and everything, they all end up back at, and this is just we get a gap between every episode of every arc of this series where all of our new friends, we all end up around the dinner table, and so this is kind of our first one, and so it's just Okaron, Momo, and Granny, and they're eating crab.
Or some of them are eating crab.
Momo and Granny are straight up trying to kill each other over it, and Okaron just can't.
I mean, to be fair, you almost die because of that giant crab. It's fair.
Nothing would stop me. I'm Momo here, and he's just guys, I don't think I can eat it, and just they immediately yank it away from him. This whole scene's just so much fun, and it does so well throughout this series. Just right. They polarize everything between comedy and just eldritch horror. Right, and that's what this whole series is really about, is just filling in the seats around the table. Yeah, and it's always so fun when they do that, and it's kind of like your reward after surviving.
Yeah, giant crab, hell yeah.
So during this whole dinner thing, Granny just starts getting on Okaron to show him his nuts.
Not literally on Okaron.
No, not literally on him, but she literally wants to see. He's just well, my stuff's back. She's let me see.
It's prove
no.
it.
He's no. She's show me, coward.
You got them both back, or are you Lance Armstrong in this shit?
So they end up saying bye, and this is kind of where you're getting to know Okaron and Momo's relationship, because they're kind of having the inward thought of what to say. They don't know how to say bye. Yeah,
because they'd never really interacted prior to this whole thing. So are we friends now?
And Momo's see you tomorrow. So that way you kind of get that. And then the following episode, you deal with this a lot earlier on in this series, is, Okaron has negative self-esteem. So he's the whole day, they want to talk to each other, but they keep missing each other because they're looking for each other. And he's just why would she want to be friends with me? And she's just he must be hiding from me.
Because I really want to talk to him, but I can't find him because they're a bunch of insecure teenagers.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And then finally, they end up running into each other, and they actually just run into each other. And they get that first kiss, face bash, and it really hurt.
First kiss / headbutt.
Their friends see them do that, and they're oh my God, they were kissing! And so,
I mean, yes, but also no.
and this ends up being like one of those things that they end up turning on each other because like they're so defensive about it, they're insulting. And Momo's just like, "Don't reject me, Baldy." He's like, "I'm not even bald." Like he has like the weakest comebacks ever. She calls him Four Eyes. He's like, "You have just made an enemy of every bespectacled person ever," and that's just like. It's just like a weird version of my dad can beat your dad. I think our dad's dead, but so do we ever get to meet Okaron's family?
No, not so far.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that. But so maybe no dad's beating no. That's why you went with the spectacle people.
Maybe his dad is Ken Takakaru or
Ken Takakura.
Ken Takakura.
I knew a name before you. I'm winning today. And so like they end up just like they split ways. They wanted to see each other all day, and then they just pride is a weird thing. So is just being a teenager, I guess.
They're often the same thing.
So after this, Ken uses the bathroom. He's like, "Oh God, my balls are missing." So he immediately runs to the classroom where Momo's sitting with all her friends who were just making a big deal about them kissing. And he's like, "Momo, I have to talk to you." And he's in this weird-ass stance. So
he's squatting down, kind of like in a sumo stance, except he's got his hands in circles where his balls hypothetically should be.
And he's just like, "I need to talk," with like the least subtle hinting ever.
But also at the same time, it's so absurd that if someone did that, you'd be like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?
What's this kid on about, bro?" Yeah. And she just like shrugs him off. And the whole time, like, the people around Momo are like kind of making fun of their lovers' spat and stuff like that. And then it gets to the point that she's just like, "Yeah, no, whatever, bro." And Ken's just like, "Are you that embarrassed to be my friend?" And that hits hard because of course that hits hard. Why would you be so mean, Momo? I mean, and her friends rip on her for her. And they're just like, "You didn't have to be so damn cold. That was uncool." Okaron is just kind of walking away. I think he's walking home because I think he's in the train station. And he's just kind of lamenting everything that happened. He's down on himself because he's like, I shouldn't have escalated that. I got caught up in the moment. And then he bumps into a girl. So Q stage fucking the bitchiest bitch ever. But she's super sweet and cute. He bumps into her. He's like, "I'm so sorry." And she's bubbly.
And she's pretty.
And she's so nice to him.
That you just know it's fake.
Oh, God, she's such a bitch. And so, like, he starts walking away, and then Momo ended up following him. And as she's walking past, she hears the girl talking, "I'm such a kind person." This is actually Mother Teresa. She's just like, "I'm the sweetest person. That poor nerd will probably never talk to a girl." And
it's like, I did him a favor. He should be thanking me.
I'm a saint. Momo overhears it, and then she just pulls a fucking wash bin on the girl's head.
Yeah, I don't know where she's getting a wash bin from, but she went full everything but the kitchen sink, and then got the kitchen sink.
And so, like, while she says hi to Okaron and starts walking with him, and as she's walking past, she's like, "All you deserve to fall for you is wash bins, not boys." Oh!
At that point, she grabs her nuts and just like dances off screen.
And so we then find out that Ira could see Momo's demon wing, or the hands that she's using, and she's just like, "That girl's a demon."
Demon, because when you see wings, you think demon instead of angel. But okay.
Well, I mean, when you're hurting such a pretty, lovely girl who's the main character, she is like I'm the main character.
What is this? A metaphor for colonialism?
So they end up going back to Momo's house. He's explaining to Granny that he doesn't have balls, and Momo's just like side-splitting, laughing at it. So Granny's just like, "All right, well, let me take a look." He's like, No, I don't want you to." And she's like, "I'm not talking about your wiener, bird brain." She pulls out a mirror and like looks inside his spirit and everything. And she's like, "Yeah, something's going on," and busts out a fan, a magic fan.
Magic fan.
Like not
one of those hand fans.
Like a hand fan.
Like,
she swats him with it. She
kind
swats him.
Kind of like you're in a church in the deep south in the middle of summer and you're just fanning yourself because there's no air conditioning.
Yeah, kind of one of those. Or if you play Smash Bros, the fan.
Yeah, that's a much better description. I'm sorry.
No, you're not on your A game.
I'm never on my A game.
That's true. So when she does fan him, Momo's like, "Oh, I saw some blue light in the spirit." So Granny's like, "Momo, when I do it again, grab it." And then she goes and grabs a little kitty cat.
Yeah, the Lucky Cat doll type thing. The Maneki Nico.
So she grabs a Maneki
the good luck cat.
And so she swats him. Momo grabs it, and then it's gone. She's freaking out, but it's just in the cat. And so the cat yeets. It just immediately starts sprinting. They chase it down, and it turns out Turbo Granny was still in there just before she followed the flames into Okaroon to hide so she could recoup some of her strength.
Yep, she was just going to hide and hold out and wait for her power to come back. But
so she took his balls, coated them in gold.
Because that's what you do.
And now they are spiritually powerful items.
I mean, that's what I always refer to my nuts as.
The power of life compels you.
The power of life compels you. Ugh.
So that smug fucking cat is just like, yeah, so if you want your balls back, why don't you go get a butcher knife and start butchering these two. And Okaroon gets pissed and then turns into Turbo Oka. Turboka. Granny's just like, oh yeah, so it turns out that we just knocked your conscience out of there. You don't have any powers. You're dead. And so while Okaroon and Momo are kind of having a conversation about like the fact that he still has the powers, and it's just like in the background, fucking Granny is just beating the ever-living fuck out of this cat.
Which is such a great scene. It's my favorite thing in this.
I mean, it really is. It's like
I mean, I might be a little bit hyperbolic on this, but like just like elbow dropping a fucking cat. Yeah.
I really forgot how good this arc is, and something that's just really great about this series is just almost always there's so much going on in the background a lot of the time, and it's just like I love it when they're just having casual conversation and there's just like war crimes being committed against
tiny ass kitties,
tiny ass kitties.
Not actual kitties, like I am.
But cat dolls.
Cat dolls.
It's just such a nice little touch that's going on that, even when they're just kind of like filling in dull information, and this is like I'm looking at you, Hunter x Hunter. Like Hunter x Hunter, sometimes it's just like you're just reading a book of explanation.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I love Hunter x Hunter, but this while that's going on, you at least just have this cat getting just dunked on all day. And so they're like, all right, hey, cat, like Turbo Granny. Momo's like, Turbo Granny, I know that you were doing, you were saving these girls. You were protecting these girls. So, like, we're willing to help you. Just give his balls back. She's like, I lost. How are you going to lose some testicles?
How are you going to lose them immediately?
Twice lost.
Yeah, and immediately after you coat them in gold. What are we doing, people?
Oh, man.
You know what?
You had one job.
It's like, you know what, Turbo Granny? You deserve to wind up in a cat doll if you're that incompetent.
She really does. She doesn't talk such a big game, but she's just she's getting dunked on by kids a lot. So since his balls are lost, they go looking for them. They can't find them anywhere. So she's just like, so these are now powerful spiritual items. We've detached them, coated them in gold. They're very important. Spirits want them now. So they're probably gone. If you can't find them in the area, they're definitely gone.
They're probably gone, and they become a main focus of this story.
They are actually the entire, like, if we're talking about like what the plot of the story is, the plot of this story is, let's find my balls.
I mean, to be fair, that'd be my main priority too.
I mean, yeah. So while they're so the next day they go to school and some dude starts talking to Okaroon. He's like, oh, so you and Momo are like a thing? And you can tell he's a douche. Okaroon's just like, no, we're just friends. And so he's like, she's kind of cute though. You gonna hook us up?
Because I heard she puts out.
Well, before he even says she puts out, he's just like, she's kind of cute though. And like Okaroon goes like full blown.
Inosuke and with the fucking thought bubbles.
with the beauty bubbles. He's like, she is cute. He's like, no. I can't have impure thoughts. The impure thought is just that Momo's cute. And so then the guy's like, well, did you guys do it? She spread her legs for anybody. He goes for a full-blown, like, Turbo-kun.
Turbo Oka?
Turbokaroon? Is that what I went with? Turbokaroon? He goes full-blown Turbokaroon and, like, starts threatening this dude because, like, he will not have you slut-shaming Momo.
Well, I feel like he's the type of person that wouldn't let you slut shame anyone because I feel like he's the type of person who says sex work is real work.
All right, that is now canon. That's my head canon. It's real. So they find out that, he starts threatening this guy. He's like, I just heard the rumors. And it turns out Ira was spreading those rumors. So she thinks Momo's the devil. She's spreading rumors because she's so pretty and so popular that she's going to bring down Ira. And so she got the new Holy Trinity, which is a Bible, a lighter, and the Holy Nut.
Just what? I feel like I've seen that on the internet before.
I know it's the New Age Holy Trinity. Kids these days, you just can't keep up. So you don't actually know it's a lighter yet.
Way to revamp Catholicism.
That's the Catholicism I could get into. I mean, let's talk real quick.
Okay,
The
shoot.
sun is technically the holy nut.
Yes, I like it.
Because I mean, like, hear me out here.
Hear me out. I'll let you cook.
I mean, but that's actually the whole thing. It's just the holy nut. Then she's pregnant, right? That is what Jesus is. But that aside,
We haven't been to church in a decade plus, at least, bare minimum.
no, I get itchy when I go to churches. So I try to stay away. So the cross, the lighter in this situation is a cross that's also lighter. We don't find out about that till later, but I'm giving you like a 2-chapter spoiler.
Oh, it's the biggest fucking spoiler in this fucking.
After the whole conversation that Okaron had about Momo being cute, he just can't make eye contact anymore. It's kind of charming.
Yeah, and I feel like we've all been there at some point in our lives during during puberty. Like, oh God,
You just can't look without thinking thoughts. Oh God. And so they are going to go look for his balls some more. But then Ira or her friends are like, Ira's just like, hey, I need to talk to you, Momo.
Yep.
And she's like, Okaron, you could just catch up later. And she gets mugged. Ira's 2 friends grab her. They zip tie her hands. It's just like, oh, geez, I've read this before. No, this isn't one of those. Never
no,
mind.
there's no tentacles.
So
Not in this chapter.
Not in the, yeah, there's obviously tentacles at some point. Like, there's always tentacles at some point. So they tie her up and start just rubbing the cross in her face. And Momo's like, this smells weird. And it's because it's a lighter. And then she just starts rubbing Okaron's testicle in Momo's face. She's just like, the power of Christ compels you. And is just rubbing balls on her face.
I don't know, but do you think she ever has the realization that she just had one of Okaron's nuts rubbed on her face?
I think she does, because she's straight up saying, like, listen, you are revering a testicle. And I love that Okaron's been to second base and doesn't know it yet.
Story of my... It's like an autobiographical feature.
I want to know, like, the context of this. How did you get to second base without knowing it? You just, like... just grabbing boob. I'm just holding my hand out like you're grabbing boob. I mean, Shawn's just, like, grabbing boob and just completely unaware.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guarantee you that's happened to me before.
Actually, I think that's happened to me, too. I'm so fucking dense. It's unreal.
Oh, my God. Yeah, right? Fucking God. Just war flashbacks to middle school and high school. I'm hearing Fortunate Son playing in my head.
Oh, jeez, I just can't. I can't with this right now. Okay. Momo's got a face full of nut, and then all of a sudden, the woman in red, or Okaron runs in. I've said before I'm wary of an anime, but, like, this is one of those things that I can't wait to be animated.
I want to see this so bad.
Because, like, the chaos that ensues for such a small thing happening. So he runs in, comes to see that. Momo is screaming, like, hey, I found your testicle. Ira's like, the fuck is she talking about? Okaron's already panicked because he's like, I found the lady in red, and then she's also following. So you've just got, like, all sorts of realizations happening at once.
And still no one's quite sure what's going on.
And then so, okay, so since, I can't believe I forgot to mention this, since Ira's been fondling some balls, she can now see spirits, and that's why she sees the hands coming from Momo. And she's been seeing this woman in a red one piece walking around. Mm-hmm. And Turbo Granny had also seen it, and they had mentioned that. So they're kind of trying to figure out what's going on with that. So when Okaron pops in, that lady's following. You're like, what's up with this?
And lady's a really loose term in this case.
She's charming.
She's got a lot of personality.
She does. And so, like, she comes in, she's just like, Ira's my girl, oh, blah, blah, my lovely Ira, I've been waiting for the day that you see me.
Come hug mommy.
Come hug mommy. Now, for you weebs out there with a mommy complex, like, this lady wants to be called mommy.
Stop it.
Like, if you can just lower your standards, this is your perfect woman.
Lower your standards, take a shower, shave your neck beard, take off the fedora.
So the mommy complex rolls in. She's like trying to grab Ira. Ira's like, oh, this is your subordinate. And everybody's just like, what the fuck are you on about? Like, this whole series is just like asking Ira, what the fuck are you on about? Like, just everything is just like Momo's evil plan. And she just never gets it through.
This fucking dumb skank over here.
Momo constantly calls her a skank, and I love it. It's the best nickname for her ever, because she's just such a pompous bitch. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so she comes in, she grabs Ira. Okaron tries fighting the lady in the red one piece is Acro Silky. And so she's just like jumping all around and dodging his skills and stuff, and she just eats his ass. No, she doesn't eat his ass. That's not what happens. It is not that kind of manga. She does not tongue punch the old
fart box.
the old fart box. I can't with that.
Just don't. I mean, I guarantee you it's already out there. You spoke it into existence. If it didn't exist, it now does.
I take no credit.
Turn on your Google safe search, people.
So she just eats him whole. And then Ira is like talking to her, and she's just like, listen, I am beautiful. So I was given the task to fight monsters like you.
I'm the chosen one.
So she eats Ira. And then she gets upset about it. And she's like, oh no, you made me eat my Ira, and blames Momo for it.
Fucking narcissist.
So now she's mad at Momo because she ate Ira.
Yeah, put down the fork, fatty.
So then you get this cool fight. The cool, like, Acro Silky's a lot of fun because she, like, fights with her hair.
Yeah.
So her hair is just animate, and so she's kind of swinging around. She grabs Momo, hits her. Well, I think she kicks Momo. Momo blocks it with the hand, gets knocked into a wall. Like, this whole fight's just really cool. And then she gets Momo by, like, the neck. So
yeah, like she starts hanging Momo, basically.
And then she, like, uses her hair to blindfold her, and then she's like, well, I guess I'll let you call me mommy.
It's like, I'll do you the favor of letting you call me mommy.
And Momo is just like, moron. And then Momo gets eaten too.
But that's where shit gets real.
So Nico Kitty, our little Nico Kitty, she rolls up. She's like, so you know that I am lucky because I am here.
I control lucky.
She starts like talking mad shit. She's like, you do not talk to your elders like this. To the Acro Silky. He's like, you ate some of your hair. That might not have had, like, you ate some of your hair. That
might not be a big deal,
that
but...
cross was a lighter. Since I am here, it was preordained that my luck is bringing you down. And then, bam, that bitch is on fire. So Momo took some of her hair in with her. That cross was a lighter. She lit the hair on fire. Acro Silky pukes everybody up.
Yeah, and it makes sense that Momo was the one to flick the lighter because she looks like the one character that would know how the lighter works.
Dude, I swear to God, Momo's smoking. The world's not ready for it. But please don't smoke. Never smoke. Don't smoke. It's terrible. So she lights her up, and then her hair's all frizzy and nasty and everywhere. So
Man, hair problems, am I right?
I have really long hair.
I have
Shawn
no
has none. So Shawn gets it. My daughter also has like the curliest fucking hair ever. Like hair frizz is the real fucking deal. And that is just like, that is our plot armor here.
It's fucking Acro Silky's Achilles heel.
This is actually like the best possible commercial for an anti-frizz shampoo.
Oh my God.
So Momo tells fucking Okaron to just start running around and bobbing and weaving. And so Acro Silky's like chasing after him, breaking shit, and then she's just about to get to him and Ira and reaches out to grab and can't quite reach.
She can't do it.
Because her hair's all tangled up. And Momo's just like, yeah, bitch, I beat you with hair.
She can't reach because her arms are too short to box with God.
So it turns out that frizzy hair is the devil, and that Acro Silky can't keep up. Momo's like, "Go all out, bitch!" And at this point, Okaron's like, "Well, I don't know how to fight."
This dumb bitch.
She's just like, "Just fucking do something." So he headbutts, and this is just such like it's a 2-page spread. The 2-page spread butt is what it is.
Yes,
it's drawn, and with everything in this series, it's just super detailed how it's drawn. There's a lot of just cool shading to it. He headbutts her so hard in the gut that he breaks her teeth.
He goes full Tanjiro.
He puts shame to Tanjiro. It's just a stellar panel, or pages. This spread is just one of like 3 awesome spreads in this arc. The art in this is just so beautiful in every way and every shape that they do it.
Man, if this was in color, like this would just slaughter everything.
I will give credit where credit's due at one point, but the Dandadan subreddit, there's someone that is coloring these pages. They're doing a fucking astounding job. Like there are so many color spreads that they have done, and it does every justice that this series deserves. So if you get a chance, pop on Reddit, you go to Dandadan, you'll find it right away. But I will give them credit here. I'll probably just like, I don't know, mention
Drop it in
episode.
the details of the episode.
Yeah, and the details are in the next episode. But it's definitely worth seeing. Please go look. So yeah, she's all knocked out, and they're like, yeah, we did it. And then the kitty's like, we found your ball. Yeah, everybody's happy. And then the cat's
Group
just
high
like,
five.
Group high five. And then the cat's like, Ira's dead. Shit. What? And so the next episode, like, they're trying to do CPR, do this, do that. Like, and Nico Granny is just like, so her spirit energy is gone, and that is like your battery. So she won't come back to life. You can't...
because she's not special like Okaron and Momo. Like, she doesn't have any powers, and that's why she's fucking dead.
And so, yeah, like, Nico Granny is just like, yeah, that's how this works. When you get eaten by a ghost, you die. That's just, you guys are the exception, not the rule. And you can't keep pumping her heart, but, without the battery to run the motor that is the heart, shit's not happening. So then Acro Silky comes back, and she's
fucking
just
turn
like,
this into Bernie's Weekend at Bernie's.
Acro Silky comes back and is just like, I'll give her my energy. And she just, all of a sudden, it's just like this bitch turns into a sob story. She's like, oh, I've been a terrible mother. And
yeah, you ate your daughter, dipshit.
And everybody's suspect. So she does just like the most metal fucking thing and just like unhinges that jaw. She just rips her whole face open.
Yeah, unhinging your jaw is a little bit of an understatement. She just hand on bottom jaw, hand on top jaw.
Just rips that shit wide. And then she hands Okaroon just this big bar. She's like, if that's not enough, I'll bash my head.
Brain me. Just fucking kill me.
She's like, Momo, I just need you to attach. You are the conductor.
She's basically the jumper cables in this situation.
And so Okaroon is ready to beat the shit out of this lady if anything goes wrong. And then we get the attachment, and like you get this no text. It is just
basically the entire chapter is no text from here on out.
Yeah, and it's the backstory of the Acro Silky, and it's beautiful. It's
haunting.
It's a lot of things, really. Actually, yeah, her backstory it is a very genuine sob story. It's very moving. It's very touching. So what it was is
Acro Silky when she was a human.
Yeah. So she was constantly working, trying to make money for her daughter.
Like several actual legit jobs.
And prostitution. And then
sex work is real work.
Sex work is real work. We're back to it. Okaroon stands by you. It's either her pimps or the Yakuza.
I'm thinking pimps just because they're like in tracksuits.
Yeah, beat the shit out of her, take her money, take her daughter, and like she runs after her. And again, this is all just gorgeously illustrated.
Not only is she running after her, to add to the the fucking environment, she's running after her in the rain.
They really do such a good job of just telling this backstory, and it hurts to read.
Yeah, because she's running after her daughter in this car, and she trips, she falls, and she's just on her knees.
Weeping. And then so she and her daughter, and she used to do like ballet and dance with her daughter, and she was always trying to buy her nice outfits and stuff. And so she just in the rain
She goes up to the top of a building, probably her apartment complex,
and starts doing ballet, and just how well they do. The artist just does all of the anatomy of everything. It looks so perfect. Like,
it's so pretty.
Astounding ballet. It is very beautiful. And then she ballets her ass off the roof. So she kills herself this way. And then this is another just gorgeous 2-page spread. And I can't think of. I read a lot of manga that does such a good job of telling a story without words, but like I can't think of anything off the top of my head that like hits it home this hard.
This was
a gut punch.
Read it when I read it the first time, it was a gut punch. When I've reread it, it's always a gut punch.
It's
never.
Gut punch.
Yeah.
It's really great. It is so worth. This entire arc is worth it for that little tidbit. Yeah. That little tidbit is gorgeous. Outside of this whole story, being so sad and serious and touching and moving almost seems out of place in this series.
Yeah.
And it brings so much more to this title.
You could turn this into a one-shot and it would still kill.
Yes, but it was wonderful. And then so Momo just starts like bawling, and Okaroon's about to attack Acro Silky. She's like, wait, and then Ira wakes up. And then the monster starts disappearing because, as Nico Granny tells us, without your battery, you just die. And she has unfulfilled wishes. And so she is just going to disappear into nothingness. And Momo's so sad. It's so sad.
Right.
She's just not going to exist anymore. And then so Ira, for the first time in her existence,
Isn't a bitch.
Isn't a bitch. And she goes and she hugs the Acro Silky and says, Mom, I love you. And then another two gorgeous two-page spreads. The first is the mother moving on, and it's her and her daughter sitting in a field looking at the starry sky. And then the next is just Momo and Ira and Okaron just watching the spirit disperse. It's black and white, but it's almost vibrant,
Yeah.
It's just like you can tell she's moving on for the better instead of going into nothingness. It's just like, again, just a completely unexpected, really moving gut punch. I swear I'm not crying, you're crying. And I love it. It's such a good place to end for this arc. And, we get Ira added. She'll be back. I'm sorry. She'll be back.
That fucking skank.
We're going to skank up the rest of this series. And so that is the end of the Acro Silky arc. Going back to it, I feel like the first time I read it, it wasn't as memorable. I think I just don't like to think about being sad. So I wrote that off.
That and you have a habit of just like, I just need to get caught up. Well, ideally finished, but in this case, caught up.
Really, it's just, I'm just like, I just need the next episode. I'm so focused on moving forward that sometimes I don't stop and smell the roses, which is a great thing about this podcast, honestly. I love rereading things, and sometimes I got to push myself to do it, even if it's stuff I like. And I'm really happy that I do. And I definitely, if you guys start following along with us, I recommend you reread with us because there's so much more you can get out of it when you do reread it, especially with a title as good as Dandadan.
Yeah, because the first time you're just like surface level, and the second time through you get to notice the details more.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're like us anyways.
And with Dandadan, there's just so much going on. And again, I'm just like, I'm just trying to blast through as fast as I can. I'm not talking about my sex life. And so I do end up missing a lot, which, that's just, a character flaw that I'm stuck with and I'm not going to improve on. But so, yeah, I definitely recommend you guys start reading through with us because I think this is an experience that's great for everyone. And since we do such small tidbits, I feel like anyone can make a little bit of time like that.
Yeah.
So that ties us up for today. Dandadan is always fun. It's always worth the read. I will die on the hill that everyone should read Dandadan.
Yeah.
Even if it's not right for you, just read it because I said so.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to be ignorant as fuck about this anime. You have to read it because I said so. The end. So with Dandadan, our cringe rating or our shame rating with it, anytime I do a Dandadan episode, I guess we do a Dandadan episode.
Thanks, Zach, for acknowledging my existence. You're better than my dad.
I mean, yeah, I guess let's just shout out random true things. Okay.
It's cheaper than therapy.
That's fair. So with our shame rating on Dandadan, it is just a formality. It will always just be a formality because it's going to be a 10.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how shameful is Dandadan? A 1 being frizzy, damaged hair.
And 10 being the fucking cover of a romance novel starring Fabio.
The fabulous Fabio locks. That is actually like every time I go to the hairdresser, because I do. I want to look like Fabio. I will never look like Fabio.
Nope.
My hair will never look like Fabio.
Nope.
But it tries.
Gotta get a wig and get on some steroids, boy.
So, this one's a 10. It's fucking Fabio, and it will always be fucking Fabio.
Yeah, because no matter what's in it, if this wasn't Dandadan, the cringe would be much higher.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not great, but it's Dandadan, dying on this hill. Well, so thanks for listening, guys. If you feel like chiming in, let us know what you thought. Let us know if you think we're just a bunch of babies and it wasn't sad at all. Let us know if you got feelings. You're allowed to have feelings. I support that.
Yes, I'm here for emotional maturity.
So, if you want to face down these sad feelings together, reach out, we could chat. So, definitely catch us next time. Like I said, 10 things I hate about Ooooh.
Oh, yeah. You better be prepared because there was a manga I read recently that I have strong fucking opinions about. And
I just love going on tangents. I was born on a soapbox. I'll die on a soapbox. And hopefully you're here to listen to that. We really can't wait. we missed a week. I was just talking about how hard it is for us to do these things. And it's I got COVID, and then I got pink eye, and I got more pink eye. And so I was down for a week. I almost thought we might have to cancel today because I got hit so damn hard. So, if you're going to join us on this journey, we're so happy to have you, and we're so happy we're going to make it to episode 10.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yes, episode 10. So until next time, before you say the words mommy to someone who's not, swallow those words.
And stop worshiping testicles, you fuck.
So until next time, let's keep it low-key, Weebs.